Hey folks! Today I'll cover another classic from the 90s which I played and enjoyed for the first time in these past few weeks. The Hospital by Bullfrog Productions, ancestor of that beautiful Startopia that I previously reviewed. The Hospital has a misleading first appearance, because beyond its apparent simplicity and the cartoonish pixel art style, it's indeed a kind of deep and unforgiving management game. The scope is to build and manage, well, a hospital through 12 consecutive levels and reach requested goals like a minimal number of cured patients, reputation points, total cash, and so on. What distinguishes this game is the ironic tone. All diseases and symptoms are invented and comical, the medical procedures are goofy and unrealistic, and the receptionist announcements are often joking. For example, just look at this poor guy suffering from Bloaty Head. His head is popped like a balloon and inflated again, or this one showing the slack tongue, which is cut raw with a machinery called the slicer. We're kinda lucky there's no blood showed, because it would be pretty nasty, and the surgeons in the operating room seem to operate in the traditional way on people who suffer from strange pathologies, such as spare ribs, kidney beans, or a broken heart. So, the best way to explain everything is to start a new game opting for the medium difficulty. We'll see the stylish board game representing the player progression throughout the 12-level campaign at the beginning of each stage, and then a small briefing that introduces the new structures unlocked, diseases to cure, and the requirements to fulfill to win. At the beginning of each level, we'll have to start from scratch, so most structures must be researched and medics, nurses and even a receptionist must be hired again. And these first levels will be pretty easy. We'll start by slowing the game speed to minimum and then place a receptionist desk near the entrance and hire a receptionist. It will permit visitors to be accepted and go to diagnosis. The first and most important room to build is the GP office, where an operating doctor will make a first analysis and decide the right cue for the patient or send him to another diagnostic room. We'll have to build all the available rooms like the general diagnosis for additional analysis, the pharmacy where a nurse will give a sick person healing drugs, the bathroom, a staff room where our personnel will rest for a while, etc. And see, it's important to understand the right placement of objects inside rooms, so to optimize the walking time of patients and doctors, which otherwise will waste time moving around furniture. And outside the diagnostic rooms and clinics, we must also place benches, on which the visitors will sit and wait their turn, alongside the rig machines and radiators, because people will need both beverages and heat. Also, hiring the best people available from the start will be vital. But for now, let's just choose doctors who have at least a specialization in psychology so they can work in the psychiatry room. Medics are divided in juniors, proper doctors and consultants, depending on their skill level, and this will be very important because it also conditions their movement speed. The higher the ability and the faster they move, and this also matters for nurses and handymen, while receptionists will never move from their place or complain for anything. By progressing the campaign, new rooms for diagnostic and clinics will be unlocked, alongside the new diseases. And we'll have to build more than one GP office, because just one will not be enough for the many visitors that will come, and also expand the hospital by buying additional plots that can be selected from the map. And speaking of staff members, we'll need to hire multiple handymen to water whole plants, clean litter and maintain machineries, and also at least 2 medics specialized in surgery that will work together in the operating theatre that requires 2 surgeons. Also, researchers are necessary to unlock additional specialized rooms, and then to improve healing drugs or the resistance of machineries. During the game, there will be some events called emergencies, which are simply help requests distinguished by this icon. The description will point out the pathology needed to cure and if we have the right equipment, and if accepted, the helicopter will carry people with a siren icon on their head that will hurry to the right clinic. If everyone is cured in time, we'll get a generous cash bonus that is very useful at the beginning of the level, along with a reputation boost. Otherwise, the uncured ones will just die and cause a loss of reputation and less earned money, or nothing at all if more than 2 people die. In these cases, the good floor plan of the hospital can make the difference, and have cure rooms not too distant from the helicopter can be helpful. Now, let me tell you this. For the first 5 levels I thought, well, it's a piece of cake. But then, at the 6th stage I noticed that I actually understood shit about many things, and the game started to punish me. First, I had to learn how training room works. We must place here junior medics with low level of skills and a consultant specialized in surgery, psychology, or research, preferably more than one, so to transmit his knowledge to the younger medics that will inherit the specialization. To make a training room work, we need to position the chairs facing the projector, otherwise the students will not learn anything. Also, a skeleton next to it can be useful, but just don't bother with bookshelves, those will just slow down the teacher. Hiring qualified doctors alongside juniors to train, it's necessary to succeed in many levels. Besides, assign consultants to GP offices is a right move, because the higher skill leads to a faster correct diagnosis of the patient, which will make us gain more reputation points. As the second lesson, I learned to prioritize the research of diagnosis and cure right at the beginning of the stage, by accessing the research tab and assigning more points to those, because without research on them, our hospital will stall and cannot cure many pathologies. And when completed, just return here and change the percentage to drugs and machineries improvement. Improved drugs will have a major chance of heal people, while machineries will be more resistant to usage. And regarding specialization, well, I always left it until last or never even calculated it, also because I didn't understand much of its usefulness. The third is the need to maintain machineries. See, almost all machines have 2 values to keep under control: use time and strength. Every time a machine is utilized, this bar will decrease, and after many uses the strength will decrease too. So it's important to check manually all machineries and send a handyman for repair, and also set maintenance as the main priority of many workers. Maintain machineries wouldn't be a huge problem if it wasn't for fucking earthquakes.
Doctor, attend in the scanner room, please. Doctor wanted in ultrascan. Doctor, attend in the scanner room, please.
Earthquakes are random and can be of different intensity. This means they can happen often or not at all, as happened to me on the 9th level. I was quite relieved and surprised. If the strength value is too low, the machine will explode, and this is why research them is important. But while handyman can fix the usage points, the strength can be reset only by buying a new improved instrument that will cost money. So, wanna know the best thing about this? When a machine explodes, the room will become unusable forever and its space cannot be recovered. Yes, the game lets you build magically everything, but cannot reuse a damaged space. And that really pisses me off. Oh yes, by placing a fire extinguisher in the room, we can reduce the chance of blowing up. It's better than nothing. The other enemy of the game are the epidemics, introduced indeed in the 6th level. These are nasty events where a contagious patient will infect others near him before he is noticed, and when it's discovered, we're offered 2 options. Pay a fine and cancel it immediately at the cost of some reputation, or try to contain it by setting the game speed to minimum immediately and select soon all the patients with the green blob on their heads, hoping a nurse will come soon in contact with them before they leave the hospital. This is why it's important to have some extra fast nurses hired. From what I learned, epidemics can be actually prevented and made less dangerous by creating huge walking spaces between rooms, assigning many handymen in cleaning litters and vomit from the floor, and placing spaced groups of benches, many drink machines and plants. But most important, by detecting and eliminating rats. Seriously, fuck those rodents. And don't tell me this isn't satisfying.
Doctor required an inflator room.
By doing all this, my epidemics were often simple and fast to cover up. It took me about 15 hours to complete the entire campaign, and I really enjoyed it. The hospital may be very old, but still it's quite charming in its cartoonish pixel art and the comedy tones, alongside the catchy music pieces. And yes, the impossibility to recover blown-up rooms is indeed annoying, but I would call it the only real nuisance in the entire experience that is otherwise pretty balanced and fun. During my playthrough, I recognized the main elements then used in Startopia, and I can't help but recommend this old gem to all lovers of management games. I'll surely play also its successor, 2 Point Hospital, that is described by many as a great product. As always, a warm thanks to all viewers, and see you in the next entry.
Doctor, attend immediately in cardio, please.
Oh shit, not now.